Hello, people. Thank you for joining us. The Realist Show out. The Realist Show, where you're going to get the realest topics, you're going to get the realest information that you can possibly get to apply to your daily life. That's going to help you change, that's going to empower you, that's going to enable you to succeed and build stability and longevity. Today we have a special guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sean Land in the house, guys. Nice to be here. We give thanks.
Thank you for joining us. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are. It's a great pleasure and privilege to have you on our show. We only have special guests, so thank you. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Don't regard myself as anything special, but I have been on a journey that people do find special. You know, I've just grown up from East London, one of the roughest schools, but just started working from young. From working young, I learned how the art of saving, and from saving, by 21, I started learning how to buy assets. Keeping myself busy, full-time jobs on Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, keep myself busy on the weekends, and then buying my second asset and building up a property empire. So I'm a property expert, I'm a property guru, I'm a property teacher, so I'm here now just to give back, teach you guys how to make it in property, how to make it in business, and how to use your finances to get to that stage.
First question that we have, which is a really important question, and it's really important to the people, is how do you create streams of income, and how do you use debt as a tool to build a future?
Yeah, so streams of income, first of all, you got to find out what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what you're inspired to do, what gets you out of bed. But sometimes we can't always just have that, so it's about sacrifice as well. So you've got to look at things that, you know, you say to yourself, I don't want to do this job, but you got to say, well, I'm going to do this job, I'm going to earn that P because I want to get to the next level, the next stage. And I don't want to be sat at home not earning any money. So the trick is to keep going. Keep doing things you don't want to do, because eventually you're going to get to the things that you do want to do. You know, you're going to get to that stage where you're working in a fast food restaurant, in McDonald's, but next minute you've been promoted to a supervisor, to a manager, next minute a next manager in a different company where they recognize you as a manager, maybe in Curry's, and then next minute you're stepping it up, you're a store manager of Curry's, for example, then you going into DFS and being in a sofa place. So it's not about making it in one place, you know, and that's the end. It's just about not giving up. You got to.
That's key, not giving up, staying persevering, staying focused, and being dedicated, which is really important. A lot of people don't have the knowledge, or have the knowledge and not the application. And application is important. Do you feel that young people are supported and vulnerable adults are supported in our society?
There's a lack of mentorship for sure. There's, you know, life is busy. We're in a technological era. People are on their phones. They're more on their phones than looking around what their kids are doing, what's happening. It's the society that we live in. So there is a lack of mentorship. There's people out there who don't have the right opportunities. There's people who don't have the right guidance. You know, there's people who growing up in single parent homes as well. And we all know, well, I know the benefit of having a granddad, having a father, having my uncle around me, because it's built me to the person I am today. However, there are people out there, and they're called mentors. You know, they're your big brothers, they're your uncles, there's people who you can relate to, who's got more experience than you. They might not be the cleverest person in the world, but if they're 50 and you're 20, they already got 30 years experience more than you on this planet. So you want to be around them people. You want to be around the older, you know, uncles and big brothers out there. You want to be around people who are wise. You know, they don't have to have big chains and be showing off, because that's not confidence. Confidence comes within. So, you know, don't follow just social media. He's got that on, or she's got that on, so I have to follow them. What have they really got behind it? What have they really got to teach you behind it? Not a lot half of the time. So let's find out the real gems. You know, there's old people's homes out there. You know, people who are looking for company, want to play a little chess. Go in there, do your little bit, guys. And find them gems, and you feel you're not getting paid. You think you're not doing nothing. You're gaining knowledge and experience. This guy's telling you how to make it, what mistakes he's made, so you already know, I don't want to duplicate that mistake. I've got limited time on this earth. So when you've got limited time, why do you want to keep making the same mistakes that other people have made? Learn from them and excel quicker. You just got to work hard and be consistent. That's all the message is. Hard work, consistency. Keep repeating that to yourself. Get up in the morning and just got to do what you got to do, you know? And that will all pay off. It's paid off for me. I'm living proof, you know, and got to follow the mentorship here. You got to follow any mentors that you see around you, you know, and you got to follow good people. And get yourself out of bad crowds, guys. You know, you don't have to be there. There's so many alternatives. Some people earn good money, but guess what? They blow it all as well. So I earn 5k and I spend 5k. So what have you earned? You've earned zero, nothing. Yeah, I earn 2k. I spend 500 a month. I say 1500. I'm earning more than the guy that's earning 5k. It's not about status here, guys. It's about what you can, you know, put behind you, later buy assets, and that will feed you. You know, so that's the way it goes, bro. You know, that's what we got to do.
That's some real facts, and it's really, you've touched on some really important points about you've made 5k and then you've spent 5k, so really you've made nothing. If you've made 5k and you budgeted for your outgoings to be around 1,500, you would have 3,500 left.
Yeah. It's all about expenses. Control your expenses, control your habits, make wise choices. There's a party over there, £10 a drink or a cocktail. Now I'm buying £10 for a bottle of vodka and having it around his house or my house. Make them choices, guys. You want to go out to the cinema? Guys, come on, 99p for a pack of, you know, sweet popcorn or something like that. A nice 2-litre bottle, yeah, £2. Yeah, Pepsi Max. Put Netflix on. Let's put a movie on. That's what we're spending the night in. You got to understand that. The boys got to understand, but the women need to understand that and support their men out there as well and say, look, I'm okay with that because we're building something for the future. We're going to have kids in the future. We're going to have a family. We don't want to repeat the same things that are happening. So control your expenses. More than controlling your expenses, it's all about your emotions. Control your emotions. Your wants, what you want, what you need. You don't push them emotions to the side. I've got to do that first. Enjoy it later. Otherwise, you know, as I say, you work and pay for material goods, or you build assets and you let that pay for material goods, you know, and live like a king. So make your choice, guys. Make your choice. Because I'm telling you, I got the formula. You know, we got the formula here. You know, that's what we're talking about.
And that's what it's about. Platforms, building our own platforms, ownership. And I'm a person who really believes in ownership. If I can't own it, I'm not interested in it, because I understand the value of owning what I have, whether that's the masters to my records, whether that's the clothing brand, whether that's my media company, wherever it may be. It's about having ownership and using the time that you've been given on this earth, because we don't have a lot of time, and making sure that you use it effectively. Which brings me on to my next question. How can you, if say you're on a 25k a year, say, salary, or for example, if you've got money that's laying around that maybe you don't know what to do with it, how can you use that money to invest, or how would you go about it if you've never had a property before, if you've never bought a property? What advice would you have for first-time buyers?
Yeah, so there's two biggest games in the world. First one is property and the other one's investment. I'm already in one of them and I'm learning about the second one. If you've just starting out, guys, property can be daunting. You'd want to follow somebody who's had experience. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, someone in your family has bought a property. Guess what? Someone at school, your teacher's probably got a property. These are the people you want to go to first and say, hey, can I ask you a question? How did you buy your house? Like, find experience, find people you relate with who can talk the same language and tell you how to get these finances in place. Again, it's about discipline, about your income and your expenditure, how you manage all of that. Because remember one thing, cash is king. When you got cash in the bank, you can go walk into the bank manager, I want to buy that because I got that in my bank. So make sure you're stacking that up. And guess what? If you don't have that, find other side hustles. And I'm not talking about let's go on the road and let's do a bit of this and that. This you need to go on the straight and narrow. You got to show these people.
Can you just repeat that one more time? When you're talking about making a side hustle, just repeat that bit again.
Yeah, just go on the straight and narrow. Don't go on a side hustle, like in terms that gets you in trouble, because that's not the goal. Everything always catches up with you in the end. You want to go on the right path, exactly where, you know, you can prove that income. You can show the bank, I've earned the money there. That's where the money's come from. And they're going to say, yeah, we're happy to give you that property because we can see all your income. Cash is dirty. You can't do a lot with it. You can't prove where that cash has come from. You end up spending it on even more rubbish things. So let's look at them side hustles. Let's look at, we're in a technological era, as we said, yeah? Let's buy some stuff off Alibaba and sell it on Amazon. Let's do some drop shipping out there, man. You can make £6 a pop. Do 10 items That's 50 quid. Boom. You know, there's just showed you 50 quid right there, brother. Come on. So this is the smart moves we've got to make. Listen, look, another thing I'm telling you, yeah, the amount of people I see with a coffee in their hands, £3. Nah, bruv, it's not about that life. Come on. That's £3 a day. That's £15 a week. £60 a month. £720 a year on coffee. Nah, I'm buying a £15 kettle, buying coffee beans, and I'm drinking it at work if that's what I want. It's them smart moves. £5 on lunch a day, £25 a week. Yeah, that's £100 a month. £100 a month, yeah. And what's that? 100 to £1,200 a year, for example. There's two places where I've just showed you how to save £1,200, £700, nearly 2k. Don't tell me you can't save. It's all about the choices you make. It's all about being in control of your emotions and sacrificing certain things for things you want later. You know, today, if I don't want to work, I don't have to work. I work because that's what motivates me. But giving back to helping, how can I give back to society now? But you've got to be in that position. And you've just got to work hard and be consistent. And I say that again because in all walks of life, I've seen so many people say, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. As soon as they leave the meeting, 3 hours later, they're depressed. Oh, I'm depressed. I don't want to do this. Get up, do it. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. The first person up in the morning. When you're up in the morning, is a different feeling. You're vibrating on a different energy. You're up when everybody else is still asleep. Yeah, remember that. And remember, if you're at 5, 6 o'clock, if you're up in that time in the morning, you do your training, you had your nice shower, you've done a little bit of reading or something, the day is yours. You've already conquered one thing, established one thing, you feel successful. You know what I'm saying, bro? Definitely. All about mental health.
Definitely. And can you touch a little bit on mental health? For example, those young people that are struggling with mental health, those young people that are going through difficult situations where they're not able to process their thoughts, and maybe they're struggling with self-control, discipline, self-esteem and confidence.
It's all about surrounding yourself with people. If you're in trouble, look at your nearest and dearest. Find communities, find people with similar issues and problems, and see how you can build a wall together, hand in hand, and how you can tackle these problems. But you can't just sit there and let it get worse. You know, someone once told me, yeah, when you're in a hole, don't dig it deeper, climb out. That's what you got to do. And every day you got to put that positivity there in your mind. I know we've been through COVID. I know we've been stuck at our homes. I know things haven't been happening too great. But you know what? It's over now. Let's look forward. When you do a shit, you walk forward. You don't walk back into it. And that's what I say. You know, let's get strong, guys. Let's build communities. Let's talk to each other, and let's walk forward together. And I'm sure we can do that, you know, because there's too many of us, similar people in the world, community, for us not to do this. And it's because we don't stick together, because we all think we're alone, because we're all segregated, because men out there are afraid to talk about their feelings, these things don't happen. Let's make a change. Start talking to each other. Let's create that community. Next minute you got 100. Do a 10x, yeah, you got 1,000. Do a 10x, you got 10,000. 10,000 is 100,000. 100,000 turns to a million. A million goes to 2 million. That's the movement you want to create in a very short space of time. You don't know how powerful you and I are, how you are, how we all are. If we had the same thinking,
how powerful you are as well.
So if we all had that thinking, we'd get there very quickly, very quickly. You just don't know. But it all starts with now, not tomorrow. Because guess what? Tomorrow never comes, because when it's tomorrow again. So let's make it happen now. Let's be present. Let's vibrate on that energy and that frequency right now.
Again, some really intricate and really vivid and practical solutions, and we really appreciate those, and I'm sure that those young people that are listening and watching are going to appreciate that as well. My next question, do you feel that the government's doing enough? And be honest, in terms of when you was growing up, to what young people are faced, the circumstances, the multiple factors that are facing, especially ethnic minority communities predominantly. You know, everybody's affected, but particularly ethnic minority communities statistically are most targeted. Do you feel the government are doing anything? Do you feel that they can do anything? And what's your views and points?
Well, the government do all sorts of things. They have certain budgets for certain sectors, and obviously sometimes you think, how they've got a budget for that sector and not for this sector. But listen, look, at the end of the day, remember my last thing that I said, let's create a community. If there's too many of us shouting at the same thing, then we can make a change, right? Not one of us can say we want this to happen and that's going to happen. So as I say, let's create a community. There's enough of us shouting about the same issues, then yeah, we will be heard with the government. But if there's only just one of us talking about them issues, nothing's going to be done. That's the benefit with the community and sticking together. I believe a lot in self-reflection. I always look at people who don't have clean water in Africa, for example, in India. I look at extended family that, you know, I grew up, you know, when I went to summer holidays and I saw they didn't even have shoes, and they were happy with that and happy with nothing. So I don't even want to rely on the government stuff. What they give me, what they give me. If they don't, they don't. I'm going to rely on me, myself, and I. You know, even the alphabet says before you, there's I. So I am going to go out and do what I can and what I'm in control of, because I know I can control that. I can't control what the government do. So, you know, let's reflect on ourselves. If you're not happy with the situation, reflect it on me. Say, why am I not doing that? Why has that not happened for me? Always look at self-blame. And it's not blaming, it's loving yourself. Because once you love yourself, you give love to others. So let's get in a motion where you're self-motivated. You go out and you go and get this. Because I'm sure, you know, everyone has got that God energy in us. Everyone's got that king energy in us, that queen energy in us even. You know, we can go out and get this. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible itself says possible. How about that?
And that's some real words. Again, a lot of practical points. But it's not always as easy as that. You're gonna get challenges in terms of, you know, setting your goal and achieving your goal. You're gonna have obstacles, but obstacles are there to be overcome. And advice for young people, particularly again those that are thinking about, you know, maybe joining or getting involved in things that they shouldn't be getting involved in, and making the wrong choice and decisions.
Be around people who've faced the trouble that you're thinking of inflicting on someone else. Not a lot of us know what the infliction of pain is. You know, when you do the wrong thing to somebody and hurt somebody, whether that's what you've been taught and you feel that's right because of a certain community you deal with and certain enemies that you have. It doesn't need to be that way, guys. Go and talk to someone who has faced the crime, you know, have somebody who's faced that they've been stabbed or something, see what they've gone through, see the trauma they've gone through, because I've spoken to many of boys who've been through that and survived it, and it has scarred them for life, and it's not beneficial for you or the other person. You could take someone's life away, you could spend your life in prison. What good are you in prison then? Where's that going to get you? Who's going to feed your family and do all of these goals? You're worth more than that. You really are worth more than that. Don't sell yourself short, you know, because God's put you on this earth. And here's a thought for you, yeah? If I gave you £1 million, how would you feel? Be honest. I'm giving you £1 million right now. You're feeling good, right? Okay, cool. So I'll give you a choice, yeah? You know, I'll give you what would you choose? 10 million or your life? Which one would you choose?
For me, that's a no-brainer, my life.
Yeah. So why don't we wake up every morning feeling like 10 million? Because that's who we are. That's what we got. That's how much my life's worth. Why have we not got that energy every morning? So let's leave it on that, guys.
And your life hasn't even got a price. Your life's priceless. So every day, wake up with that motivation to move forward, to achieve, to grow, and to think, and to, you know, make your dreams reality. Thank you for joining us on the Realist Show Out. Watch out for the next one that's coming. Stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and let us know what you think and how you feel. Thank you.